Wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah.
Terence Crawford was asked the question every great fighter eventually hears, how he would do against Floyd Mayweather in his prime, and without hesitation he leaned in, smiled, and said he'd stop Floyd easier than he stopped Errol Spence, a statement that instantly set podcasts, social media, and sports shows on fire, and coming off a win over Canelo Alvarez, 3-division undisputed status, and a perfect 42-0 record, Crawford's confidence doesn't sound like arrogance at all, it sounds earned. And maybe even justified.
Yeah, so if he was pound for pound, Floyd was pound for pound. You or Floyd, who would have done that? Who would have won that?
Me.
Oh shit, okay, I'm just asking.
Oh,
Floyd was pound for pound before.
That would have been a hard fucking fight though.
Man, me versus anybody, I'm gonna always say me.
Okay.
Come on now.
Mayweather built his legacy on defense, precision, and perfect timing, while Crawford thrives in danger and focuses on dominance rather than survival, overwhelming opponents instead of simply outpointing them. And from Sean Porter to Errol Spence to Canelo Alvarez, everyone who's faced Crawford has left the ring humbled. So when he said he'd stop Floyd easier than Spence, it matched his mindset. Because Floyd fought to protect what he had, while Crawford fights to push his legacy further, with Mayweather relying on careful strategy and calculated matchups that many fans and fighters have long criticized as cherry-picking.
No one has ever been a 4-division champion in boxing. Not a real one. Oh, Pacquiao won 8 and Oscar De La Hoya won 11 and this one won 15. No, I'm talking about Ring Magazine champ or lineal champ. You are the champion of that division.
Get them all.
Forever, the record was 3 by Henry Armstrong. Manny Pacquiao was the first dude to really win 4. Floyd gets credit for 4 for beating Canelo, but that wasn't at the junior middleweight limit. I don't count that. I don't count that. Terence Crawford just joined Manny Pacquiao as the only legit 4-division champion in the history of boxing. And he did it by jumping middle. He came lightweight, junior welter, then he won a belt at junior middle, not the whole championship, and then skipped middle to fight Canelo Alvarez for the undisputed, for the Ring Magazine super middleweight championship of the world, and left no doubts, including with Canelo, who was all class after the fight but knew what had just happened.
Even Max Kellerman has said it best, Floyd's resume is deep but selective, while Crawford's may be shorter, yet far more pure.
Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. That makes a difference.
And that's the heart of the debate. Floyd perfected control of the ring, his opponents, and every second of a fight. While Crawford isn't chasing control at all, he's chasing conquest.
Out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually, he moved in weight class. And I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Look at the way he went after Errol Spence, a fight many believed would never happen because of boxing politics. Yet Crawford didn't wait for the perfect deal or payday. He pushed for it, took the risk, and broke Spence down round by round. And then he stepped up 2 divisions to face Canelo Alvarez, a move many called reckless because of the size difference, but Bud absorbed the power, erased the advantage, and dominated the full 12 rounds.
Terence, what he did, that's another crazy thing, right?
No, that's not crazy. No, I say it's not crazy because I predicted. I said Canelo was going to get old in the ring that night. No disrespect to Crawford. He did a good. Crawford could have stopped him. He could have. Me being a coach and watching how the fight was going on, He could have stopped him. And I know he's saying it in his mind, but he was being humble of Canelo. He was being humble, and it was a great fight, and it was good talk for the boxing world. And that's what it's all about, to entertain, to get us something to look at. We've been entertained like this for years, for centuries, of gladiators and stuff, going in the ring, representing their fans.
That isn't cherry-picking at all. That's stepping straight into danger to prove you can survive it. And this is where things get uncomfortable for many longtime fans who grew up during Floyd's reign, because Crawford isn't just winning fights, he's reshaping what greatness looks like in real time.
There could be the way where you put Crawford over Mayweather. Because of going up, you didn't see Mayweather go up from 147 to 168. That's crazy, bro. And not even, and honestly, I thought Crawford was gonna have more of a hard time because he had a hard time with Madronov. So imagine going up to it. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, but I don't want to take nothing away from Mayweather. Mayweather's the greatest of all time. But I think that was a really big risk that Crawford took, and then he ended up winning. You know what I mean? So you have to give credit to that too. I mean, that's a big risk. That'd be like me going up and fighting Usyk right now, heavyweight.
No, that's been kind of hinted.
I'm not thinking of that right now. I'm not thinking of that right now. No, but that's kind of like how that'd be. You know what I mean? So you have to, bro. That's a lot of. He has a lot of balls to do that. And not only to go do that to show the world that he's really like that.
Fighters and trainers like Shane Mosley, Andre Ward, and even Calvin Ford have all said the same thing. Crawford is different, staying undefeated not by avoiding danger, but by actively going straight toward it.
Saying that if he beats Canelo, it could put him as even the greatest of all time. What does that put him in the all-time list, man?
At least top 10.
At least
top 10.
top
10 or top 15, easily, you know? There's guys that we may not know of or heard of, like Henry Armstrong. Simultaneously, he was 3 divisions carrying all 3 weight divisions at the same time.
Which performance was better? I don't like to compare them, but Crawford or Mayweather's over Canelo. Like it's just different.
It's just different styles, different looks, you know. But the punching, the output that he was giving Canelo, definitely gave him the win.
That's why when he said he'd stop Floyd easier than Spence, it didn't come from ego. It was backed by what he's already shown in the ring.
The Crawford-Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. GOAT, greatest of all time, man. You got to give it to him. You got to give it to him. You got to give it to his coaches, not just me, Saul Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists. You know, everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence? Yeah. Oh, of course. Of course he is.
There's no denying Floyd's defensive brilliance, but Crawford brings a complete package, able to fight orthodox or southpaw, counter or press forward, manage distance, and adjust mid-fight better than anyone today, which is why while Floyd dominated through discipline and control, Crawford dominates through constant adaptation, and after that interview went viral, the boxing world split, with some defending Floyd's unmatched ring IQ and saying both defined their eras, while others, including former Mayweather rivals, openly sided with Crawford.
Number one, and the only one that he got at top is Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Terence Crawford's this generation guy. You know what I'm saying? Accomplishing all the goals that he accomplished.
Matched up? How do they match up, Floyd and Terence?
Hey, I'm like this, man. It's going to be great because Floyd, he's about his work. He put in work. We've been watching it for decades. You know what I'm saying? Him coming out of retirement to do this fight, that's a win for the whole world boxing. Every generation, from Floyd's generation to this generation, to get to see it come. That's just like we never get to see Michael Jordan play, right? But we remember when he used to play. Come on.
Let's be honest, what's really left for Crawford? He's unified at 135 and 147 and now conquered 168, moving through weight classes with ease and beating bigger, stronger opponents every time people claim he's hit his ceiling, and that's the line between great fighters and true legends, when excellence stops being surprising and starts feeling inevitable.
They're going back down to 154 and face Jaranen as the guy who prepared Canelo Alvarez for this fight.
Nope. I ain't going down 154.
Here's the reality. Crawford doesn't care about being compared to Floyd, because he's already said he isn't chasing Mayweather's money or fame. He's chasing something far more pure, respect.
You be sizing niggas up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever Keep it real, boss. Keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fighting.
Yeah.
I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll be this.
But you capping, bro. I never thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd. Nah.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, man, I'll be this. Never. That's some hating type shit to me.
Like plotting.
Yeah, I ain't never been that type of person ever.
And he's earning that respect by doing what Floyd never did, taking the hardest fights whenever and wherever they were available, which is why so much of the boxing world stands behind Bud. Because while others chase YouTubers and crossover spectacles, Crawford takes on real threats, and many now believe his legacy already rivals or even surpasses Floyd's. Since Floyd fought to build a brand, while Crawford is fighting to carve his name into boxing history.
Spiritually, mentally, you think that might have affected Canelo, or that was just a skill difference was too wide?
You know, I do think he was a little mentally tired. He's been at that level for a long time.
Right.
So 11 fights in 4 years. That's a lot.
Timing was perfect for Crawford.
Yeah.
He said it himself at the press conference. He said timing was everything. Perfect timing, everything.
That's right.
His whole career was on timing.
He was mentally tired, but you got to give Crawford his credit, man. To keep your mind that mentally fresh and sharp and go out there and perform like that, that's a win itself. Not even just beating your opponent. For your mind to be that fresh, come fight night.
One spent his career guarding a perfect record while the other is fighting to uphold the sport itself. And that contrast has created real tension. Because even though Floyd hasn't directly answered Crawford's, "I'd stop him easier than Spence" comment, people close to him say he's angry, knowing that no matter how much his fortune grows, he's watching the throne he once ruled slowly slip away while Crawford now sits at the top.
Fighter not being there spiritually, mentally, you think that might have affected Canelo, or that was just a skill difference was too wide?
You know, I do think he was a little mentally tired. He's been at that level for a long time.
Right.
So 11 fights in 4 years. That's a lot.
Timing was perfect for Crawford.
Yeah.
He said it himself at the press conference. He said timing was everything. Perfect timing, everything.
That's right.
His whole career was on timing.
He was mentally tired, but you got to give Crawford his credit, man. To keep your mind that mentally fresh and sharp and go out there and perform like that, that's a win itself. Not even just beating your opponent. For your mind to be that fresh.
That's why Floyd has been popping up in more interviews lately, talking about his exhibition with Mike Tyson while quietly taking shots at Crawford's accomplishments, including a recent comment where he said Canelo isn't what people think he is, which many fans took as a clear attempt to minimize Crawford's win.
A guy like Canelo, this guy can do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Live only on DAZN June 28th. Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing. But that's classic Mayweather behavior. Because when the spotlight starts to fade, he finds ways to spar with the next generation from the sidelines. As Floyd dominated an era where timing, branding, and marketing mattered more than danger, while Crawford rules an era where risk defines greatness. Making the contrast clear and simple: money versus legacy.
Why you not coming back to fight? Why you not coming back to fight? So I look at the fight game, I said, okay. I said, you know, fighters fighting, they make 3 million, 4 million, 6 million, 7 million. Some may make 10 or 20 million. But I'm doing exhibitions and I'm making 20, 25 million, 100 million for exhibitions. So why would I come back and fight and get a guaranteed 35 million when I'm doing exhibitions and getting
Now the big question is what comes next for Crawford, because after clearing divisions and humbling legends, fans are wondering who's even left. And one name keeps buzzing in gyms and podcasts: Jaron "Boots" Ennis, young, undefeated, explosive, and hungry. The kind of fighter many say resembles a younger version of Crawford himself. With promoters like Eddie Hearn already labeling him the next pound-for-pound star, and fans eager to see if this is the matchup that finally tests the king of the current era.
Like Boots, if there's loads of money on the line, because he knows how good Ennis is, and he's not going to fight anymore unless it's for a lot of money. So we have to do what we say. We have to prove the quality of Ennis, and he has to earn his shot against Crawford. But that is the fight that I look at in 9 to 12 months' time, 3 fights down the line. And I think US fight fans are going to be crying out for that fight. Like, you imagine if we beat Lima on Saturday, we beat Ortiz, we beat Fundora or Mertzalayev or Zayas. Everyone will be calling for Ennis v. Crawford.
I think a lot of fans are crying for that now.
They have been for years.
Yeah.
But the reality is, we still need to, it's not, I think everyone who, like I say, everybody that knows boxing.
Yeah, boxing fans.
One that knows how good Ennis is what a fight. That is unbelievable. But still, you've got to educate people that Ennis is as good as I say he is. Right? And you do that by beating the...
Imagine it, Crawford versus Ennis, experience against energy, ring IQ against youth, a perfect passing of the torch fight. Yet Crawford's camp has made it clear they're in no rush because after years of climbing mountains, Bud has earned the right to move on his own terms. As his trainer Brian McIntyre said, he now chooses fights instead of being pushed into them. But if that matchup ever happens, it could define a generation, since the only fighter who might truly test Crawford is one who grew up studying him. While much of boxing's elite chases fame through exhibitions and crossover spectacles like Jake Paul fights or Floyd versus Tyson, Crawford continues to carry the torch for real boxing, keeping the sport grounded and proving that legacy is built in the ring, not on streaming hype, which is why the Floyd versus Crawford debate goes beyond two names and becomes a clash of eras, the businessman versus the warrior. Because Crawford doesn't fight for attention or viral moments, he fights for skill, respect, and the soul of the sport. And that mindset is what makes him timeless, dangerous, and far from finished.
To be talking in front of the public, but I'm gonna be short. But I just want to speak about something that I feel like Bud kind of taught me, and I feel as though it's gonna take me farther in life. And I feel like for the next generation and the kids that's coming up behind us to understand, it's one word that I've been thinking about when I wanted to speak about Bud. It's integrity. I feel like integrity is a strong word, and I feel like it's bigger than money, it's bigger than fame, and I feel like Bud Crawford taught me integrity, and it's gonna last forever. So shout out to Bud, shout out to his family. I feel like his family did a great job with him. His coaches did a great job, and everybody surrounding him and supporting him made him into this genuine, strong human being. And I appreciate him for everything that he done for me. So shout out to Bud Crawford, shout out to Omaha, Nebraska. And it's all love.
Even at 38, Crawford remains sharp, quick, and motivated, hinting that he may have 1 or 2 more fights left, only the biggest and most meaningful ones available.
I feel like he should just sail off into the sunset after this monumental
well,
win.
You know what? They made it look so easy. You know what I'm saying? 2-3 more in him. You know what I'm saying? Training camp will try harder. You know what I'm saying?
You think a move to 160 would make sense?
I mean, if you want to do it, it'd be a challenge. If you want to challenge yourself, yeah, I don't mind.
Whether it's a rematch with Canelo, a move up to middleweight, or finally giving Boots his opportunity, every fight from this point forward is about adding to Crawford's legacy.
I think weight for Boots is 160. I think he could go there now and be in his absolute prime. He'll be tight at 54 tomorrow. People think that when you move up in weight, all of a sudden it's easy. He's massive. He will 100% go to 168 at some point. So right there, you've got a 4-division championship. But I don't want him just to be a 4-division champion. I want him to be undisputed in those, because I think he's the natural progressor to Terence Crawford. I think he's of the same kind of ability as Terence Crawford. And what Crawford's done is amazing, because he was undisputed in 3 weight classes.
Yeah,
so,
you got to prove it in a ring.
Of course you have. It's very well me saying it, but you've got to prove it in a ring. But you've also, people know in boxing. So everyone's always known how good Crawford was. But it took him a long time to get the opportunities to prove it. We've got to make sure that we're not 36, 37, 38 when we're getting those opportunities. Because if Boots can get it at 29, 30, he's going to be around 34, 35. He lives a clean life. Do you know what I mean? I think this guy, I truly believe, I think he could be one of the all-time greats.
And that's what makes this so fascinating. Floyd Mayweather walked away undefeated, but Crawford is building a career as a 3-time undisputed champion, which leaves the real question: who is truly the best, prime Floyd Mayweather or prime Terence Crawford, the defensive mastermind or the adaptive destroyer? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Like and subscribe to Boxing Hub for more, and I'll catch you in the next one.